Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. This is Salon's Blog, and it's Wednesday morning in Southeast Asia, Malaysia to be precise. Wherever you are around the globe, especially on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, you are highly, highly welcome. Yes, the game ended some hours back. Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 2. Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 2. I believe most of you guys could not watch the game, so I'm going to be giving you all the goals. You're going to watch all the goals here on this channel. It's just few seconds videos. Yeah, due to copyright issues, I might not be able to play the full video, but then 10-15 seconds, you watch all the 3 goals that were scored. Chelsea's goal and Real Madrid's 2 goals. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Hey, don't go anywhere. Watch the video to the end because I'll be giving you a shout out at the end of this video. Chelsea's game against Real Madrid ended in another defeat. So far, all the games we played, it's only one game that Chelsea won. And it is the last game we played in the US. Our next game is on Sunday in Stamford Bridge. Our next game against Inter Milan on 11th. It's in our home, Stamford Bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, but to this morning's game, well, you might say tonight, last night, wherever, it depends on where you are. Last night's game ended 1-2 in favor of Real Madrid. Ladies and gentlemen, goals, Chelsea's goal was scored by Noni by a header. Let me say emphatically that for once, even though, but Noni last night, he actually did well. Yes. Noni finally, I believe, with time, the coach is doing a great job on Noni. He still made a lot of mistakes. The final third, the final delivery, we could have scored more goals. We could have scored goals, but I think Chelsea, we are lacking a bite at the final third. And ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea's defense is a mess. Chelsea's defense is a mess. I am saying it. Look, good performance from Madueke. Before I go to the defense issue, I want to conclude on Madueke's issues. I will not be mixing things up, ladies and gentlemen. Good performance from Madueke. I'm sorry for that. Good performance from Madueke, Noni. Yes, good performance, but he needs to learn to simplify his game. He needs to learn to simplify his game. He should know when to pick a simple pass and when to have one-on-one, or when to go one-on-one with an opponent. Also, his dribbling is too loose. He loses the ball too easily at times as well. Should keep the ball tighter. So far, so good. He's getting there. Gradually, he's getting there. Noni gradually is getting there. For me, I saw an improvement in his overall play last night. Noni Madueke, I saw an improvement in his overall play last night. And let me also point out, Raheem Sterling was equally lively last night. Sterling was equally lively. But similar situation. There were times where I felt Sterling could have delivered the ball into the box instead of trying to take on. Because taking on Rodrigo and Militao, these are experienced defenders. It was not easy for Chelsea to break down that, Real Madrid back four. You see Militao there, you are seeing, Rodrigo there. Sometimes deliver the ball into the net, into the area. Okay, now what is goal? This is Noni Madueke's goal, where the ball was coming from and he leapfrogged the defender using the head and score. That is how it's supposed to be. One-on-one both Noni Madueke and Raheem Sterling, one-on-one, sometimes they end up messing it up. They end up messing it up, especially in the final third, where they're supposed to even strike or shoot, they don't strike. The next thing is they end up losing the ball. But today, in general, both Raheem Sterling and Noni Madueke, there is an improvement. We lost the game, but there are positives in the midfield and in attack. Chelsea's biggest problem, ladies and gentlemen, before I go to the biggest problem, let me give you the lineup for you to understand something here. Chelsea started the game with Jorgensen in goal post, which he is very, very excellent. He was very okay. Then we have Captain Reece James, Badiashile, Levi Colwill, Malo Gusto, Lavia, Enzo, Nkuku, Madueke, Gui, then Sterling. These are the starting 11. But guess what? Our biggest, weakest link, our weak link, the area that we were weakest the most is our defense. It is our defense. Badiashile, I just can't tell. Badiashile, you could have blocked that goal from entering the net. The keeper rounded at the goalkeeper. What was expected of Badiashile was to cover up for the keeper in the goalpost. At a point, it's as if he even stopped running, or he slowed down his running into the goalpost area. And if you look at the angle where the keeper ran at the ball to, it would be very easy to clear that ball. It would have been very, very easy to clear that ball. Badiashile, in fact, you cost Chelsea this game. It is an individual mistake, yes, but it was preventable. It was preventable, Badiashile. It ended Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 2. All the 2 goals that Real Madrid scored was a defensive errors. Chelsea preseason tour in the USA comes to an end, ladies and gentlemen. What additions would you make to this squad before the transfer window closes? Should we go in for another defender? Trevor Chalobah. Instead of selling Trevor Chalobah, it's better we allow Badiashile to go. Because we cannot start the season with this kind of defense. Worst case scenario, this match is supposed to be a draw. Worst case scenario, it should have been a draw. But we lost it again. And the more you are losing games, the more it affects your confidence. Yeah. You see, this morning, I am actually not in the right mood. But let me say, Maresca says he's trying to get Pochettino out of his players. He says he is trying to get Pochettino out of his Chelsea players. He didn't use Pochettino's name, but he said we are not working on defensive lines so high. It's a habit from last year. In quotes, we are not working on defensive lines so high. It's a habit from last year. What does that mean? Each opportunity Maresca gets, he wants to throw a jibe at Pochettino. You've been with this squad for 6 weeks now, going to 7 weeks. And yet you are still finding excuses in a previous coach. You are not working on defensive lines so high. It was a habit they inherited, they learned from the previous year, last year. Meaning what the other coach taught them is what they are implementing under your reign. You are already trying to defend yourself. Excuses. We will not take it. Chelsea fans will not accept it. That means your ideas are not, the players are not getting it yet. Well, with time, you get to know. Stamford Bridge, you know. So far, you've not played any game in Stamford Bridge. So I can forgive you. There's a Chelsea's record in Stamford Bridge. There's a record in Stamford Bridge. Ask Poch if you think Poch wasn't good enough. Go and mess yourself up at Stamford Bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, the game in general was a good exercise. It was a good exercise. No doubt about it. It shows the areas that we are lacking. Being a final game in the US in a preseason, it just exposed Chelsea's weaknesses. It tells you that Chelsea actually need a top-notch striker. Top-notch striker. A goal poacher. A decisive striker. We don't need any more mediocre. No. It's rather unfortunate we've not seen Nicola Jackson throughout this season due to the ankle injury. But you see, Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart are basically putting all the pressure on themselves for Samu to work out. Samu Meridian to work out. They are just putting too much pressure on themselves. Jackson and his massive risks, both raw in front of goal, young and need to develop. Jackson, they buying Jackson. He's young. They took a risk in buying Nicola Jackson. He's raw in front of goal. He's young and need to develop, which he is developing. In my opinion, Jackson has shown a lot of improvement getting to the later part of the season. In a season where we are demanding top 4 football from an unproven coach, and our owners are still going for another underdeveloped striker, in addition to Nicola Jackson. Adding Osimhen's experience and leadership would have helped this Chelsea squad. And you could then move Jackson wide to the left. But I'm not that much confident moving Jackson to the left because he's not a left winger. But we saw him perform better last season. It feels like we are splashing money around this summer on more unproven, untested quantities at the highest level. Unproven, untested quantities at the highest level. I guess that's what you have to expect from directors who have never had this type of transfer responsibilities at an elite club like Chelsea. And an ownership or an owner who values Brighton's system and Red Bull model over Real Madrid. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your breakfast. But quickly before I let you go. So far this season, Chelsea conceded 12 goals. 12 goals conceded in 5 pre-season games. There is a lack of pressure on the ball while playing a high line. Similar to the Celtic game that we played. Perhaps a combination of lack of fitness and not knowing the system well enough is what is costing Chelsea in all these games. A combination of lack of fitness, because we understand this coach doesn't take fitness work serious. He prefer to play with a lot more with the ball. So I am suspecting lack of fitness and not knowing the system well enough is what might be causing some of the problems. Because I think so far our midfield has no problem. The challenge we are having is the attack and the defense. We create chances, but to score the goals, either Noni Maresca will mess it up in the final third, or Raheem Sterling will mess it up in the final third. The ball is not being delivered to the striker. In fact, Gui started to last night game at the center as the number one, the striker. Yet I couldn't count how many times he received a ball as a striker. There were no clear-cut chances for our striker to take the opportunity of. There was none. And whose duty is it to provide Gui the opportunity? It is the wingers. The left winger, the right winger. But they would rather prefer to score the goals by themselves. And that is where we are lacking the goals. And we are rather conceding. In football, if you don't score, you concede. It is so. That is how it is. If you don't score, you concede. Ladies and gentlemen. All right. Before I let you go. This morning, it is your breakfast news after the game against Real Madrid. I'll be back with more exclusives on Victor Osimhen as you want to hear. But quickly, you see, Julian Alvarez to Atletico Madrid. Here we go. Deal in place for 75 million euro fixed fee plus 20 million add-ons. Julian Alvarez is going for 90 million euros, ladies and gentlemen. Or 95 million. Yes, 95 million euros. That's about 90 million pounds. Julian Alvarez. Julian has accepted a proposal for 5-year deal after talks with agent Hidalgo today. Man City signed Julian for 14 million pounds and is now a record sale for 95 million euro package. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go to your shout out. It is your breakfast. Let me prepare myself and come back on these issues. We are in tough moment. Chelsea Football Club, we are in tough moment right now. The league will soon start. How prepared are we? The preseason is almost over. The US tour is over. We are heading back to London. Sunday, we are taking on Inter Milan at Stamford Bridge. Well, big shout out to you guys all out there. This one comes from where? Okay, let me start from this. He said, God bless you, bro. The truth, Chelsea board are gambling of choosing striker. Victor Star compared to Samu. I pray that deal for Samu should collapse. But you didn't give your name, my brother. Please let me have your name so I can give you a big shout out in the next one. This one says, good morning. Osimhen to Chelsea, I dream about it. Yes, okay. Oh, you dreamt about it. Osimhen to Chelsea, you dreamt about it, right? Well, we keep our fingers crossed and see what happens now. Your name is what? Kenny Benz. Well, big shout out to you out there, Kenny Benz. Let me know your original name and where you are watching from, ladies and gentlemen. This one says, you all need to stop spitting fake lies, calumnial, unjustified hate on Napoli. Victor Osimhen has a release clause like any players in any club. Asking price is fair, and Napoli don't get any seat reduced price. No fraud, overrated swap, ensure no loans. Plus, we dare not to spit all your disgusting nonsense hate, inverting stuff that are not real. Victor Osimhen has a great reach, still 2 years contract, and Napoli are not forced to sell him. I guess, oh, I know this guy. Yes. Anytime I talk about Victor Osimhen, Napoli, he always comes insulting me. I understand. I think I even blocked you before. Anyway, now you've expressed your opinion. I appreciate your opinion. Big shout out to you out there. Let me know your original name where you are. Yes, let me know your original name and where you are. But I believe no one is trying to outwit Napoli. No, there is a negotiation. There are talks ongoing for Victor Osimhen. Yes, it is what it is. You cannot deny that fact. Big shout out to you anyway. This one says Chelsea hasn't been able to separate between their wants and their needs. It's a pity. Victor Osimhen is the answer. All right, and your name is not here. Dear friends, keep your name coming in and where you are watching us from. This one says, we only need Victor Osimhen as our striker in Chelsea. From where? No location, no name. All right, this one's coming from Rodrigue Firi from Malawi. Yes, my good friend, Rodrigue Firi from Rodrick Fury from Malawi. This is what I want. The name is right there. I can boldly give you the shout out. He said, please, we want Osimhen, not Omorodion. Big shout out to you out there. Rodrick Fury from Malawi. Big shout out to you. Yes, we want Osimhen, not Omorodion. Sadiq Adeleke, another good one there. He said, Chelsea owners are unpredictable. They may end up not signing Osimhen. Sadiq Adeleke watching from Oyo State, Nigeria. Big shout out to you out there, Sadiq Adeleke. All right. This one says, Auntie Kenneth from Nigeria. I chose Osimhen. Great one there. Big shout out to you, Auntie Kenneth from Nigeria. Big shout out to you out there. All right. This one says, good morning, bro. My name is Kingsley Emmanuel, watching from Dubai. Please, Chelsea should do their best to sign Osimhen. Kingsley Emmanuel, big shout out to you out there. Have a great, great day. Keep your comments coming in. Let me know your location. He says, Chelsea should sign Osimhen for us. Please, please, please. Albert from Ghana. Tadi. Albert from Ghana, GH. Big shout out to you out there. Albert from GH. All right, the last three. I'm Sylvester Griffith, watching from Dubai. Please let Chelsea focus on Jackson. I believe he will do well this season along with Nkuku. I believe that also. I am a fan of Nicholas Jackson. I believe that Jackson, if given opportunity, he can get to that top level. But do we have the patience to wait? He can score for us this season 15 goals, but he will also miss another 15. Jackson will score 15, but he also equally miss 15. That is where the problem is. You get it? Yes. Anyway, big shout out to you out there, Sylvester Griffins, watching from Dubai. Sylvester Griffins from Dubai. Big shout out to you out there. I like your name, Griffins. Or Griffith. Yeah, Griffith. I like that name. All right, this one says, coming from Abba Francis Abba, that the Italian teams are all the same in business transaction. Napoli decided to give Osimhen a new contract and a bumper salary to tarnish his football career. Napoli never likes Osimhen in any way. I recognize this when he was mimicked by someone of Napoli fans and team players, but his agent didn't figure it out and allow him to go and sign a new deal with Napoli. The club knows that at the end, he will end up in Saudi Arabia. Well, Abba, Francis Abba, big shout out to you out there. Last but not the least, from my brother, my man, Alfred Beku. Alfred Beku from GH Ghana. He said, we need Osimhen. I think maybe Samu will join the junior side. Big shout out to you out there, Samuel Beku. Yes, Alfred Beku, big shout out to you out there. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one when you see me. Shalom and peace.